So, man, come on.
I am recording. Okay.
Awesome.
I get a round of applause for that.
Hey, would you make sure that it's not on speaker view?
Speaker view?
Yeah. Is it like showing everybody in the boxes?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because sometimes they're on speaker view and I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so tonight I really want to talk about,
I'm going to mute everyone.
Oh, okay. Just so that there's not like a whole bunch of feedback and everything. So I really wanted to talk about the importance of personal development tonight. Whenever Vincent asked if anybody would lead a Zoom, I wanted to, but I also know that I have a really crappy signal out here, so I don't know if it's going to be in or out, but luckily the Zoom is open on Stacy's account, so if I go bye-bye, she'll still be here. Anyway, so I guess I'll just start off by letting you guys know a little bit about me. Like, even my closest teammates and stuff don't really know like a whole lot about me, and why would you want to listen to me? Like, why would that even be important?
Unmute yourself, Corey.
Hello?
You're there.
Did that just happen?
Yeah, it just happened.
Okay, cool. So I just want to share like a little bit about like who I am and what's gone on in my life and where I am right now, and how I got to be at the point I am right now. So basically I've had like, my childhood was pretty like normal. If you grew up in Texas, like everybody grew up the same way I did. And so it was pretty normal, but around like 16, around 15, I was like really depressed, and I don't know, I was just really not like happy with my life at all. And I got into drugs when I was 16, and I spent the better part of a decade battling addiction, and I got completely sober from that addiction about 3.5 years ago, and still even going through my life where I was still broke, lost, and hopeless. I was homeless for 2.5 years, and I've gone through a lot, and I never really let that define me. I always knew that I was meant for more. I knew that I had to figure out what that more was, and I didn't know where I was going to find it. I was a server at Chili's before I started with It Works, and basically, like, I was just going through life white knuckling it. You know, I had no direction. I had no purpose, no passion. All I knew was that, like, I just couldn't get high anymore. And I was drinking a lot, like Joanna knows. Like, I used to drink a lot whenever I got sober off of drugs. But so since I started It Works, you know, when I first started, I signed up with Vincent, and I took what Vincent said and I did all of it right away. Like, I didn't sit on my training. I did every single bit of my E-Suite training. I did everything that man told me to do. And here we are 9 months later, and I am a completely transformed person. You know, I had to sit down last month and realize that, you know, I'm not at the rank where I feel like I should be in this company. And that's what made me start to dive deeper into what my actual purpose is. And one thing's for sure, that if you can't develop yourself as a person, if you want to be Diamond and you're still acting like a fast food waitress, like you're not going to become diamond. Like you've got, like, it is not an option. If you want to be successful in this business, you have got to figure out why, and you have got to figure out your passion in life and your purpose in life, not just in It Works. Because, you know, when we start It Works, It Works is supposed to fit into your life. You know, you're not supposed to rebuild your life around It Works. Luckily, a lot of us fall in love with it enough to where, you know, our lives do become all about It Works. But a lot of that isn't because of the money that we're making, you know, it's because of the relationships that we're building. For the first time in my life, I've actually got friends who I can depend on, who, you know, I can count on for anything. Before that, okay, so Joanna, she's on this Zoom. She is my best friend, and she didn't join me until 8 months into this business. And before that, she was the only person in my life that I could ever count on. She is the only person I ever knew that if they said that they were going to do something, that they would do it. She always does. And until I came in here, I had no one in my life like that. And so, you know, this company does a lot more than just provide financial freedom for us. You know, although I am executive and I'm making, basically making more than a Ruby should make, I found out by figuring out my purpose and figuring out my why that I'm not in this company for the money. I'm in this company because it's a doorway for me to expand my human relations and to really just help other people to develop and to grow. Because I've looked at my past and I realized, you know, I didn't want my whole life to be a waste, you know, that I wanted to be able to show people that, you know, if someone like me who was homeless and strung out and hopeless can be at this point today, you know, hosting a Zoom for a group of what could be, you know, 500 people if everybody got on the Zoom, you know, if somebody like me could come on here and host something like this, then like, I'm not special. Like how is anybody in here different than the next person? And I'll tell you how, is because each person that finds success in this business has figured out why they do it, and that's what keeps them going. And whenever they're told to do something, or this works or that works, like they jump on that right away. And that's the only difference. Or, you know, if they've been doing it a little bit longer. So if you're brand new, of course you're not going to be like diamond unless you're like crazy insane and you've already got a huge market, you know, to reach out to. So that doesn't like typically happen. So, I wanted to share with you guys some of the books. Vincent and I talked about some of the books that would be really good to start with. And I also wanted to go over kind of like what my daily schedule is like for personal development. I didn't write it down. You see me looking around on my desk like I wrote something. I didn't. Okay, so I have this book right here is what I'm reading right now. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And this book, okay, you're going to die probably. This book is like basically teaches you how to tolerate people and like not just give up hope and, you know, not believe in yourself anymore. I'm also reading a book called The Coaching Habit. It's called Coaching Habit, Say Less and Change the Way You Lead Forever. So I've been using this to talk to my potentials. Can you guys hear me? Because everyone is like frozen. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fine, Corey.
Okay, cool. Everyone is frozen on my side. So I've been using this book to talk to potentials to really like to get out of them the stuff that, you know, I wish that I had known about myself before I joined. Because I'll tell you the truth, whenever I came in, I was like completely I had no idea that there was going to be a personal development aspect. I had no idea why all these people that I was seeing on my news feed are so happy, you know, and I found out that it's not because they're making a crap ton of money, and some of them are. A lot of people are making really good money, but it's because they've taken the time to pour into themselves, and they're taking the time to pour into others. And I know that, you know, as soon as we stop looking at our prospects or our potentials as a sale or the next dollar, then that's whenever people are going to start coming around and signing with you, is whenever you have their best interest at heart. So this is a really good way to get people to open up. How many of you guys have had people promise to buy product from you or to sign up with you as a distributor, and then like they never ever answered back to any of your stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, so that is another way. That is how, you know, personal development comes in. I had a girl today, I talked to her, and she told me like a week ago that she was starting at Works, and I was stoked. So yesterday I asked her, I was like, so when are you signing? And she goes, oh, I already did. I said, what? When? You know, we'd been talking since like October, or yeah, about October or before. And she goes, April 5th. And I said, whoa, okay. Like I felt like I had a knife in my stomach, because me and this girl had become really great friends, and I was hurt, you know, because I'd been there with her through some really hard stuff that she was going through. But that happens, and you know, if I didn't have my personal development, I could have given up on that. You know, if I didn't have my why, you know, that might have been enough to push me over the edge and just be like, that's it. You know, I'm not gonna keep trying for these people or whatever. You know how we say that sometimes, like, these people, they don't want to buy anything. Everybody's broke. Like, nobody wants to sign with me. And that's stuff that we tell ourselves. That's lies that we tell ourselves. And that's that fast food mentality that I was talking about earlier, you know, like, I was raised like to be pretty white trash, okay? And like I've had to step out of that and become like this incredible person that I would want to hang out with. Like if I feel myself slipping into a mood, or if I'm reading something that I wrote, you know, and I feel like I need to take it back, girl, I got to step back for real. And like every day, at least once a day, step back and say, wait a second, Corey, you just spent the past 9 months of your life trying to outgrow this person. Like, is that who you want to be today? And I promise it makes all of the difference in the world when we stop blaming people for being broke, or saying, well, if you know, going behind their backs and saying stuff like, well, if they would just sign, then they wouldn't be broke anymore, you know, stuff like that. Holding this against people, we just got to remember that, you know, this is weird. Like, this is not normal. What we do is not normal. And for people to work from their cell phones and make money doing it, that's not normal. So people are like, especially if they only have one It Works distributor on their friends list, and you're that one, like, people are not used to this. It takes a while. And so that leads me to the next thing that I kind of want to talk about, and that's pumping content. And that's something that I've been doing for the past couple months too, since February, is just pumping content and not asking as much in the posts as I am in the messages, you know. So when people go and like my posts about encouragement or inspiring, this, that, or the other motivational stuff, that is whenever I reach out to them, and that's when I build the relationship with them. Because, you know, people are not going to join your team if you're just like, hey, join my team, $99, let's go, make some money. Like, no one wants to join that, because they're like, this is a scam. Like, that's how you're going to make my $99, and then what am I going to make? Like, people don't see the other end of it. So you've got to make people fall in love with you before they fall in love with the product. People don't care about your product. They don't. They care about you. And as selfish as that sounds, it's the truth. So think about what it was that made you want to join this team. Was it, you know, the freedom? Was it actually that you wanted to try the wraps, and then you're like, wait, I can make money too for $40 extra? Like, yeah, let's do this. So whatever it was that you saw and that you kept seeing that made you want to join this team, pump that as your content. like replicate that, duplicate it. Like this program's supposed to be completely duplicatable, and but at the same time, we've got to find out what makes us stand out. Like, there could be a person who has 10 different distributors on their team, and if we're all copying and pasting the exact same thing, like yesterday I saw like 5 of the same posts from people on our team just for interaction. And like, I get that. We should be able to share ideas and stuff like that, but you've got to figure out what makes you stand out from every single other person in this business, and why should someone want to sign with you. That goes back to the personal development, because there's only one you in this world. There's only one you, and you are made for a very specific purpose, and it's your job to find out what that purpose is. And if you don't, then what's the point? So It Works gives us an avenue to be able to live that purpose, okay? But if it's not there, if we don't know what it is, then why do we get up and do any of this in the morning? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should we? So all of these things are, all of this and more, you will find out about yourself whenever you start diving really deep into self-development. Me personally, I was a shitty person. I would not have signed up with me 9 months ago, 8 months ago, 7 months ago. In fact, I didn't sign my first distributor till December, and it was my husband. So yeah, it took me a long time to develop into the person that I am today. And don't hold it against yourself if you need some time to personally develop. Grow you and let people see your journey. You don't have to pretend like you're successful right now. You need to let people see that you're real, and that you're going on this journey. Let them watch you grow. You can't just be like a deadbeat one day and then a millionaire one day, the next day. They need to see that this company is providing you this excellent ability to just grow, not just financially, but grow as a person. People are depressed these days, you guys. Every single person, I guarantee, is sad. And most of us, our whole friends list is like that, because I see stuff all the time saying like, I'm getting off Facebook because it's so negative. But, we have like, that's what social media is. Like, you are partially in control of the media now. And like, you've got a total choice on to what you see in your media. And so be the positive, be the uplifting, be the encouragement that, your friends list needs. And you can't fake it, guys. You've got to like, what I like to do is I like to go on YouTube and just type in motivation or inspiration or something. I used to love watching Les Brown, and that's where I found the most of my growth. Now I'm on Gary Vaynerchuk because I'm all like crazy hardcore, like trying this entrepreneur mindset stuff. And Gary Vaynerchuk is like insane, and he's in your face, and he's totally my style. And there's something he says that like gets me every single time I hear it, and that is, if you don't absolutely love every single second of your entire life, then your shit is broken. Like, if you don't get up and wake up every morning, get out of bed, spring out of bed even, and you're just so like, you're not thinking about your business 24/7, like there's something going on that is not like, you're not where you're supposed to be. And so, like I said, Les Brown is a really good guy to watch. Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, and oh yeah, and I just go on YouTube and I type in motivation or inspiration. There's like these little 4-minute clips or 6-minute clips that I love to watch. And if I get really deep in a conversation with a potential, I will send them that video, and it'll get them thinking like, holy crap. Like, yes, I want that. Like, I need to know how I can become that person. Or, yeah, I do want to know why I exist. And, it's really cool. People want this. People are hungry for this. And we've got to figure out a way to, like, fandangle it and not make it all glittery and sparkly. Yes, that works too, but it's a facade. Like, you guys, we got to get deep with them, just like we've got to get deep with ourselves. And this is the way that I've been able to find my purpose and my passion is to pull that up out of people and to make other people realize like what their purpose is. And I know that that's kind of a weird one because, you know, the only other thing I can think of that makes time stop for me is whenever I'm editing pictures. So I don't feel like God put me on this earth to edit pictures. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is my other thing. This is like what makes me so pumped all the time, is to be able to help other people like get pumped up and find their stuff. And it's a lot easier for me if I'm talking like one-on-one with a person to really be specific to that person's need. So it's really great to use your personal development with your potentials. So a couple of books, I was going to grab them, but I won't because they're in my other room. The Secret. If you haven't seen The Secret, it's a movie. You can find it on YouTube for free. It's YouTube, The Secret, full movie. It'll say like metaphysical, this or that. Whatever it says, it's a full movie. It's like, I don't know how long it is. So I just found out that The Secret has 3 parts to it now. So that lady, Rhonda Byrne, she's the one who wrote the book after the movie came out. So there's a book. You can use it as a little hand guide. So the next one is The Power. And that one is basically explaining to you how you can use this power inside of you to shape your reality. I don't know if y'all, like I said, I don't know if y'all have seen The Secret, but basically what you think is what you get. Really. It really is. And if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That is the whole movie summed up. And it teaches you how to get to that spot, how to be at that point in your life to where if you need to manifest $1 million, you're going to freaking do it, you know? And so The Power is kind of like the practical use of it. And then the magic, that's the next one. And the magic is all about gratitude. That is a big part of The Secret, is finding gratitude. And that's a big part of my life. And if I don't find gratitude, I'm going to be out on the streets and I'm going to be getting high again. And I'm going to be ruining people's lives instead of building people's lives up. So that's another way I know what my purpose is, because I feel like I've ruined a lot of lives, and to make up for the amount of lives that I've, you know, messed up, like I'm pretty sure that my purpose is the opposite of the way I used to be. So, yeah, if you guys don't know what The Secret is, look it up right after this. I'm not kidding you. It will change your entire life. If you haven't seen it, take another hour out of your day. Go put your kids to bed. Do whatever you got to do. Watch this movie, okay? Find the books, The Power and The Magic. Find those and read them. Another one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It is essentially the same thing as The Secret. It's a little bit more in depth. I think this book was written like in 1912, and all of like anyone you can think of, like Benjamin Franklin, like anybody that you can think of, like massively successful, even to this day, knows who Napoleon Hill is and knows that book, Think and Grow Rich. It is a secret that has been withheld from normal people like us, because only a certain select few have really what it takes to absorb that information and actually do something with it. You know, we could read books all day, but it depends on what you do on the back end. You know, there's a lot of stuff that our Facebook friends don't see that makes us who we are. You know, our friends don't see us here working our asses off for 15 hours a day, you know, trying to keep our kids alive and grocery shop and do laundry, and all they see is a pretty picture that you throw up of like a wrap. Like, that's it. That's all they see. So, you know, it's really hard sometimes because, you know, we do all this and sometimes it feels like, what for? But there is a what for, I promise you. So just keep digging, keep searching, and never, ever, ever give up. When you're at your lowest point, that's what's going to determine. Okay. I promise. I've been at my lowest point a few times this month, actually. So, I was just talking to one of my best friends today. You know, whenever it feels like everything is going to hell, that is whenever the magic is happening, because right on the other side of that is massive growth. massive growth in every single area of your life. And there's also another book called 3 Feet from Gold. It's about this miner. Basically, him and his son went mining for gold, and they were hitting gold a lot. They came across this vein, and they didn't know about veins, and they kept digging. They weren't coming up with anything. They finally decided to sell it, sell the gold mine. And the guy they sold it to hired an expert. This expert found out that there was a vein that ran through there, and literally 3 feet from where they quit digging is where the gold was. So the man who sold it, the original owner of the mine, he said that was, he wasn't upset about it. It was the biggest learning point in his life. And so a lot of the time when it feels like we're going through the shit is whenever we're growing. There's a really good metaphor for that. Like, some flower grows in the swamp. I think it's a lotus. And, just be a lotus. Just be a lotus, man. Okay. So there was another thing I was supposed to talk about. I don't know what time it is, but I know I can talk a lot. Crap. Anyways, so Stacy, do you want to talk about some personal development stuff?
Well, what I can tell you guys is that where I started at, and I would say that I was the most negative. I was the girl on your Facebook that posted, "My husband's being rude today. I hate him, blah, blah, blah." Or, "My kids are driving me insane. I wish this day was going to be over." Or, just every negative comment possible. Like, I feel like I used to go on Facebook just to be nosy in everybody's lives and post negative crap. And that's where I was when I started this business. And on Facebook wise, now mentality wise, I was negative. I hated people. I had horrible anxiety and panic attacks where I couldn't leave the house. I was depressed. I didn't want to live. All of the above. I had a negative mindset on everything. I was living off of, $700 a month and scanning that EBT card like it was nobody's business. And when I joined It Works, it's like I did a 360 within, I would say, not even a 3-month time span. Mm-hmm. Because I no longer I had a vision. I had a dream, and I had goals that I wanted to achieve. So I no longer had time to scroll through and, get a little high off everybody's negative energy and interact in it and, sink myself in a hole and just like that. I didn't have time for that. I wanted to build my business, and I didn't want to associate with people like that anymore. And I started seeing myself change, and I started seeing how happier I was. And then, attending trainings and plugging into Zooms, all of a sudden you're getting all this self-development, and all of a sudden you look at, I looked at myself, I'm like, holy crap, I'm like totally a different person, and it just, obviously I'm still negative sometimes, and I still whine and, have bad days, but nobody's perfect. But I don't have that constant negative outlook on life. I look at my business and I'm like, when I get to Presidential Diamond, I'm going to, not if I ever get to Presidential. I'm always, knowing this is where I'm going, and these are my goals. And I think that, I was talking to my girlfriend last night, and because I'm in a little bit of a bad place right now. And I was talking to her last night, and I said, she's asking me, what's going to get you out of your, your funk in your head. And I said, honestly, 100% truth. And she's like, yeah. I was like, I need self-development right now. And she was like, what the hell is self-development? I'm like, yeah, honestly, I didn't think you would know what it was. Not many people know how important it is to read a book or listen to, go on YouTube every morning. I love to go on YouTube and type in motivational video, and I don't care which one comes up. I just like to watch it, you know, even if it's a guy running a marathon. What did I see today? A guy running a marathon, or not a marathon, I don't know how far he was running, but he had no right leg. And it took everything he could and everything he possibly had to finish, to get to the finish line. And I look at that and I'm like, damn, you know, like, look at that dedication, look at that consistency, look at that goal that he had in his head. And no matter what I'm going to do, I'm going to get to the finish line, you know, and that's just how I look now. You know, I told her last night, I said, I'm not looking at every negative thing that's going on right now. I'm looking at how can I fix it, okay, so I can move forward. Most people just sit there and dwell in it and let it hit with them and put them down for a week at a time. You know, that's not how I think now. I'm like, there's a problem, I need to fix it. So how am I going to do it? And when am I going to do it? So self-development is just, you know, it's really changed. It's really changed my life. It's changed my business. You know, once you start really believing in yourselves, once you start really believing in yourselves, you're going to start getting messages from people saying, God, you know what? I love following you because you are so motivational to me. Like, I don't even know what you do. I've heard people tell me, I don't know what you do, but I just love to follow you because I love your posts and you're so happy and yada, yada, yada. I do want to share with you guys, I was doing some research in my head and then like different questions that I get from team members the past couple weeks. And I went ahead and I wrote out 10 reasons why your business isn't growing. And I just wanted to share this real quick on the Zoom while I'm talking. And I don't know what Corey has, but some of this is self-development. So I'm just going to list it off, and I will post this on the group page afterwards. But this is, if you're really questioning yourself, like, I'm not signing LCs, I'm not signing distributors, I don't know why, I'm trying everything. I'm going to list some things, okay? So number one, are you using the products? Okay? If you are not using the products yourself, showing yourself using the products, taking pictures of the products, how can you promote a business of yours if you are not using the products and being a product of the product? Who wants to get involved with you if they don't believe that you even believe in your own products? So if you're not doing that, I would suggest, even if you don't, you know, I get it. If you don't have the money right now to have products, I totally get that. But
I have a whole bunch of bottles, empty bottles. If somebody needs bottles, message me. Take pictures with.
But also, you know, if you could just try one product, you know, all of you have the wraps, okay? But if you could order the greens, you know, 1 month, order the greens, because I'm telling you, once you start using our products, the excitement goes through the roof because you're going to feel better. You're going to be like, holy crap, I really like these greens. These are freaking amazing. No wonder why everybody talks about these, you know? Okay, so number two, you're still not sure what network marketing is. So are you sure that you even know what you're doing? Do you know what network marketing is? Do you know what type of business you're in? Because if you don't, you really need to read up. Read up on the company, read up on the compensation plan, because you'd be surprised. Maybe you didn't know that once you hit Ruby, you get paid on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels. You know, maybe you didn't know that. That's a huge thing to know. So number two, you're still not sure what network marketing is and what business you're actually in. Number 3, you don't promote it enough or even at all. It's all about consistency, okay? You joined a company, you want to promote it, that's why you joined, right? And you want to build it. So your Facebook is your storefront. If you're walking by a store and a boutique, you're going to look through the window, right? And you're going to look through and see what you like. And if you don't like, you're going to keep walking. If you like it, you're going to come in. Your Facebook's the same way. So you want your Facebook to be inviting. Okay, you want to be posting what you're doing. This is your business. If you want to grow your business, you need to be posting 4 to 6 times a day. And you need to be posting, you know, motivational stuff. I've told you guys all what to post, so you guys know what to post, and there's a posting schedule. But you've got to be consistent with it. You cannot expect to post one day and not post for 2 or 3 days, and then post 10 times the next day. You can't do that. That's not how it works. People are going to be like, what is she doing? She's not consistent. I can't even take her serious with this business, if you guys get what I mean. Number 4, you are not talking to your upline or your teammates. It's really big to be plugged into the chat, to the Zooms, to the family calls, because we are your team. We're here to motivate you, inspire you, give you tips and tricks. When you post on the chats and you need a response and don't know what to say, we will give you the response. You know, message your upline who enrolled you. We are not psychic. We cannot read your minds if you are struggling. So if you have a question, ask us. There's not a stupid answer. We want to hear from you. Trust me, we want you to message us because then we know like you're really going after it. Okay. Number 5 is you're scared what people think. And that falls into the self-development right there. If you're scared what people think, remember, this is a business, not a personal attack on you if someone declines. Okay. It's not an attack on you. They're not saying no to you. They're not thinking weirdly of you. And they're just kind of wondering and thinking like, what are you doing? And you're here to show them what the hell you're doing and how you're going to do it and where you're going to go. And another thing with that, and this is really important, do not be scared of what people think, because they at the end are not writing your paychecks. You are writing your paychecks. They are not. Their opinion is irrelevant. Who cares what anybody thinks? You're doing this for you, okay? Number 6, you don't attend any or listen in on any company calls or training events. It is so important to be plugged in. So I love all you guys that are on here right now. I think I've missed maybe 2 Zooms in almost 3 years. And I've never missed a family call, ever. So you want to make sure you're on the Zooms. You want to make sure, like, again, you're on the family calls. Events. We have all these One Team, One Mission events everywhere. They're off the chain right now. They're, like, in literally everywhere. Like, every one of you could get to one. And it's super cheap. It's $15 or $20 at the door, and you can bring a guest. These One Team, One Missions are so motivating, and you're sitting in a room filled with like-minded people, and it's great. It's a high. It's awesome. You want to be there, okay? There's boot camps. And everything. So go on the events calendar. I did post it on the Diamond Bound group page, all the events, and I even listed them, the dates and everything. So if you could go in there and get to an event, get to as many as you can. It's so fun. What is that? Oh, Skype. I have not been to an event because I live in an area where they did not have any events. since 2014. So I actually attended my very first event last week, and I already have three tickets for other events that are near me that I'll even be driving, 11 plus hours to. That's how fun it was. So, okay, we'll move on to number 7. The lottery ticket mentality, or misled mentality, thinking what you've gotten into. You guys have to remember that you can't join, sit back, and think money is going to flow into your pocket. It's a real business, and it takes, like we say, consistency and the effort to learn. You have to be coachable, like with these Zooms that we're telling you, self-development, your target market, how to talk to people, how to post, when to post, and then things not to do. You got to do all these things to grow your business, and building a team takes duplication and patience. So, you can't expect to join a business and get rich in 3 months. You have to have a 5-year plan, So that number 7. And number 8 is you're not recruiting. So you're not bringing people into your organization. And if you're wondering why, it all follows up on what Corey was talking about with self-development and all the things that I said above: the consistency, the mindset, the not being on, company calls or going to events, scared of what people think, not promoting. It all goes into everything I just talked about. And the recruiting will come to you, because when it comes to recruiting and signing distributors, that's when people start seeing that they believe in you. So when you use everything that we've talked about tonight and turn that around, you're going to start seeing people are like, hey, what is she doing? What is she talking about? What is she holding this, bottle of ThermoFit, and she's so freaking excited, and she posted a picture yesterday with $100 wrap cash. Like, dude, seriously, if you have to go to your bank and take out $100 and stand in front of the ATM and take a selfie, like, do it. Like, it's okay, because I'm sure we forget. Like, I forget sometimes to take selfies when I sell wrap cash, but people like to see that stuff. So that'll all come into play with what we said, not signing distributors. Number 9 is, do you actually believe in the company? Do you really, really, really believe in your company? Do you believe It Works is amazing? Do you believe that we're debt free? Do you believe that we're a growing company and not going anywhere? Do you believe that people are getting paid, over $100,000 a month? Do you believe in our company? So ask yourself that. Because I've heard a couple people go, I don't know, I'm scared. What if they're going to close? No. This is where you want to really zoom in and figure out, like, no, we're not going to close, you guys. We're growing. And knowing your company and being up to date with what your company is doing, following the It Works Global page, being on the calls and all that kind of stuff, you'll know that this is a solid company. Okay, last one. And this is kind of same like the first one, but when I wrote it, I was like thinking it in a different way. Do you even believe in direct selling? Do you believe in multi-level marketing? So it's kind of like the same thing I said above. You don't believe in the company. Do you really believe in it? Do you know anyone who is successful? Do you believe that they're successful? So that's a big one.
Probably if you're on the Zoom, then you definitely believe in this company.
You'd be surprised, Corey. You'd be surprised. They may believe in the company, but do they believe in the company?
I hear you.
Get what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah, no, I totally hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to write those, show those that I can't talk, list those out for you, because I was sitting there and I was writing it all out, and like I said, I've been getting a lot of messages from even people outside of my personal team, asking, you know, I can't sign LCs, I can't sign DTs, and all these things come into great factor with those reasons. So I think we should open, I don't know what you have left, Corey, but we have.
I still, while you were talking, I remembered two things that I wanted to talk about real quick.
Okay.
And then just real quick, okay? Also, I will be putting, along with her 10 things list, I'll put a book list and then like an audio book list, which I forgot to say, You're a Badass is like a game changer too.
I read that. Amazing.
Yeah, totally. And also that your business, there's an 80-20 rule, and usually it's about like 80% this and 20% that. Okay, so usually we need to make sure that that 20% is develop personal development, dedicated to personal development. So, and then 20% actual business. But if you're not doing that 20%, you know, we can't like do 100%. So that's really important. Also, I have this thing right here. It's called 90-day, what is it called? The 90-day outcome statement. And it's a whole bunch of questions, not a whole bunch of questions, but it's a series, like maybe 4 or 5 questions that will really help you figure out what you want your day-to-day look like. And then also, after you watch The Secret and stuff, you'll have something that you're going to learn from that movie to visualize after you do these questions. So I'll also post them in the Zoom, like the comments of the Zoom, I guess the recording, maybe. Is that where you're going to put yours, Stacy?
Yeah.
But it's so important, dude.
You know, I'll post it in the feed for, yeah, we'll post it under that.
Okay. Well, I could post mine under the Zoom, and yours is different. Yours could be a different thing. And sorry we didn't get to the organization. If you guys haven't seen the OCD Triple Diamond, that is how I do my organization. I make little spreadsheets on my phone. I print them out, so I have them in writing, and sometimes I put them in my little charts. It's actual spreadsheets. So different people have different ways, but watch YouTube videos. That's another part of the 20% of the personal development. So your personal development can also be with business. So make sure we're like watching our other leaders trainings, not on our team, and personal development on YouTube and all that. So yeah, now we can open it or whatever. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't leave those things out. But this right here is a big, big deal, that if you do this and have something to visualize, like it's only a matter of a time before reality catches up with your visual mindset. Okay.
No, you're absolutely right, Corey. Let's open it up to questions. Just because I know sometimes when we do the Zooms, maybe you guys have questions about like, well, what is content? What do I post? Like, so I want to open up, go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question. No questions?
Cool. Bye, guys. I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right, so nobody has any questions about anything that we talked about tonight then?
How about feedback? Does anybody have feedback? Like, I don't know. That's just a real question. It's a question, guys. Somebody give me some freaking feedback before I call you out. I'm just kidding. Dang.
So everybody feels like they're doing amazing in their business right now and don't need any help or have any questions about how to grow their business at all. You guys know I'm blunt. You need to
unmute yourself. She's so cute. You're still muted, girlfriend. Lindsay.
Dang it. Mine was about distributors, and yeah, I definitely know what I need to do. So
okay, so your questions got answered then, because I know I talked to you the other day, yesterday,
and I can sign like LLCs like there's nobody's business, but distributors is my main issue.
Okay, so I'll tell you what Vincent used to tell me. And because I've always been a 20 plus LC a month signer, and I have never really been a mass distributor enroller. And at one point he told me, do you know why you're not enrolling distributors? And I said, no, I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. And he said, because you're not confident you can. You're confident that you can enroll as many LCs as you can, but you're not confident about enrolling distributors.
That's what he told me. Yeah.
And
it's the truth too, because whenever he told me that too, and whenever I was like, oh, okay, and then I just started having confidence, and now I've got like a bunch of distributors, and I signed just as many LCs as distributors, so it's like a balance. You totally just gotta love yourself, dude. You gotta love everything about you. Embrace everything.
So basically,
just be sure.
Personal development.
Yeah, totally. And don't ever ask somebody like, do you like maybe think you might want to join my team or something like that? Like, dude, I got a really awesome thing going on right now, and I know you'll love it. You want to like take a few minutes to talk about it, like, you know, like just make sure like that you're never say the word maybe, like ever, and just be confident. Like, talk to them like you're your best friend.
Go into every conversation knowing that you're going to sign them up as either a loyal customer or a distributor.
Okay.
And they might say no at first. They might say no like 6 times, but they will say yes because they're going to remember, like, okay, well, she's still doing this. Like, let me try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, great.
And
anybody else? I feel like I'm by myself out here.
who's on here? Ashley, Kara, Bria, Joanna, Latoya, Jess. Okay, no one has any questions then. All right, Corey, do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah. Well, I did want to talk about, like, I wanted to talk about organization because I've tried every method of organization out there. I promise you, and nothing works because I'm a chaotic mess. Maybe, you know, sometime soon we'll talk about organization or something, but it's basically just from watching YouTube videos, trainings and stuff. But Vincent didn't believe me. I said, I could talk a whole hour about personal development.
Really
Yes, can you?
It's really important, you know?
It is.
So,
It's the only thing that matters. If you're not doing it, you're not going to be successful. Point blank, period. Like, you got stuff. You got
almost like the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, the Bible, like you study the Bible and you're so faithful to God and you just are so just fulfilled, right? So you got to fulfill yourself.
Totally.
You have to fulfill yourself. He's fulfilling you, but let's fulfill yourself. Let's get you thinking, God, I freaking love me right now. And I love everybody. And I'm worth this much. So I'm not scared to cut this person out of my life. I'm not scared to tell somebody, listen, I love you, but I don't have time for your drama. You know your worth. It's so important, you guys. And, you know, like I said, you're the 5 people that you associate with. So if you want to be a millionaire, you better start associating yourself with people who have a millionaire mindset, who believe that they're going to go somewhere, who have dreams, who have goals, and that's what you're going to be going. If you associate yourself with people who don't believe in you, who are negative towards you, who are always in a bad mood, that is how it's going to suck you in. Okay? And you're not going to be focused on your ultimate goal. And every one of you's ultimate goal in here when you joined this business was to make extra money for your family. So Corey's making a really scary face.
Dude, I'm terrified of moths, and I live like way out in the country now, and I forgot that the window was open in here. Yeah.
All right. Well, it is 7:01. Corey, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks.
in tonight.
Thank you guys for coming on. I would have been really embarrassed if it was just me and Stacy.
I wouldn't. I would have still partied with the chick.
Awesome. We should go party after this too.
But thank you guys for being on. It's mostly,
I'll see you on the next Zoom
yeah.
in like 10.
All right, you guys. You have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye.